Ladies and gentlemen, it's early morning day 2. Thank you for your patience. During the holidays, I took a bit of a break from recording, so we did not have a lot of action on the Rocky River Railroad. We do, however, need to send our train up to the logging camp. Trying to figure out the best way to do this. He's going to need coal, that's right. We were waiting for our delivery, weren't we? So, there's this engine, and we're going to back up the passenger car. Passenger service will begin later today. And so we'll be dealing with the passenger trains. Now you'll notice that I changed the passenger car color to maroon. I forgot the colors for my alma mater were maroon and white. So blue was not the correct color. I'm like, no, wait a minute. That's really not river colors. I don't know why I picked that. But all right, so first order of business is to get this coal car into its siding / chute so we can fill up this engine and the other engines. Now, this engine's being worked on now. It's 81%. It'll be ready probably in time for the passenger service. Now, something that Javius and I discovered while kind of exploring the map, learning how this all works, it seems like our next move should be, once we've opened Ella, or opened Bryson, really, past Ella, which is what we're working on right now, we should think about moving south to Silva. Now, by doing that, it'll change our whole setup, because Silva lies to the south, and it changes the interchange yard so that we are no longer the interchange here, but it happens at Silva, which is way down the line. The benefit is that Silva will open up a bunch of new stations along the map, giving us a lot of passenger stops, and it'll also increase our revenue as far as businesses go, because there are businesses all along the rails. So it'll be good for us to do something like that. It's a $10,000. So it's the most expensive jump, but we were both looking at it from a monetary standpoint, and really in a couple days you'll pay that off, and it probably is worth it versus, once we get past Bryson, we're moving into much hillier territory, so that's going to be a pain. And then on top of that, we're also going to be dealing with short segments of track that have to be, once again, repaired. So the track from here to Silva is all intact. Once we open that up, it gives us a several mile stretch of track that does not need repair, and so we have many stops along the way there that we can, take care of, tend to, and it gives us the opportunity for a lot more income. The other thing about heading behind us or back that way, the way that we're looking down to Silva, is that it's very flat track. It's not real hilly. And that is a benefit, because right now where we're working is very hilly. And unfortunately for us, that means we're going to need bigger steam locomotives very quickly. So by going to Alarka and then on that direction, which is the other way, the opposite way, it's going to require some upgrading in steam quality, which costs a lot of money. So what we're thinking is to go that way first, and we can kind of stay with some of these smaller engines. We don't really need to upgrade as quickly and generate the income we need to get the bigger engines, and then slowly work our way past Bryson, which is currently the direction that we're not heading. So the first things first, though, we already started the Ella Bridge project. And so we are going to unlock Bryson. And Bryson's a nice big terminus, if you will, temporary terminus, until we get the other track unlocked. So we'll unlock Bryson, and then we'll go backwards and unlock Silva. And we should be able to do that fairly quickly, because I'm willing to take out a big loan to pay for that. We'll probably wait till we have the Ella Bridge constructed. but maybe before then. I might even do that today. If I'm crazy, I'll take out an additional $10,000, and we'll take a look and see how we are financially kind of midday. But we can pay off most of the loan that I took out for this engine already. So I think I owe $6,000, and I probably should have $4,000 or $5,000 in there now. And so we can pay that off, and then just retake another loan out and then open up those stations so that tomorrow we can service all of those. And then we'll have a pretty big bankroll coming in. So you might ask what I'm doing right now. What I'm doing is I am running around that coal car. I need to get on the other side of it. So and this should really give us coal for days. This should be plenty of coal for us to run the railroad for 4 or 5 days, maybe more. But now we can service our engines. So once I get this in the slot, we're going to send the log train on its way and get that thing moving. Because that's where we make most of our money, honestly. The log train is we make a decent amount of money off the little trains also, but not little trains, but like these switch outs for the industries along the railroad, but we make most of the money from the logging mill right now. Alrighty. Is that good? Maybe a little further forward. There we go. We'll open up those hoppers. Nothing really happens. It's all for looks. This thing's got coal in it, right? Yeah, 49,000 tons. 49 tons of coal. 49 million bazillions. Okay, and then the next step is going to be to grab this guy over here. And I don't think we're probably too far to grab control. There we go. And his orders are going to be reversing. But we have to open up the switches. So this is going to open up there. And he's going to come on back to the, let's see, he'll go past here. He will stop at this red. And what we can do is once he gets here, we can fill him up with water and coal and then send him on his way. So meanwhile, while he's doing that, we'll go back to number 10. And we're going to send him packing. We got them both. Mm-hmm. Conflict of interest. Vintage workhorse for sure. Gonna open the water hatch, fill it up with water. But first, I think we're in position for that. Yep, and there goes the coal. So this engine can get loaded up with coal, which it needed. Now, it should have a decent amount of water in it still. Yeah, 3,000 gallons. The problem with these engines... Now, this engine can be in service for a while because he's doing the same job every day and will continue to do so pretty much forever. But the passenger train's going to get heavier and start hitting heavier terrain pretty quick. So the thing that I'm looking at is possibly an Atlantic to run the passenger service, because the Atlantic is a pretty decent-sized engine. It's got some power behind it, and it also has some speed. It's really designed for that passenger service type stuff, which is why, like, probably the most successful was the Hiawatha, which was a very successful passenger engine. It still retained that vintage, ancient 442 design, which was the upgrade of the American class steam locomotive, which really kind of won the West. Took us all the way through the Civil War. Okay, so this guy, he's probably full on coal. Yep. And so now we're going to back him up and just top off that water tender. And meanwhile, let's take a look. This engine is 78% already. So he's being repaired. He was at 70% when I pulled him in there. So he's getting repaired pretty quick. This one's full. So let's go ahead and give him his marching orders. You're to go forward at 25 miles an hour. And he's clear. So he should be able to go right up. Number 10, we're going to take control of. And he's going to be clear up to the coaling station. Double train action. All right, pop that open. Now he should be pretty full of water too. This won't take long to fill him up with water because he's been serviced already. Nope. A lot of latent power there. Not exactly what I was hoping to do. We're going to just inch our way back. I think the dogs have one of my shoes. I don't know if you can hear the floorboards pounding upstairs. The bane of my existence. All right, so we're going to get this filled up. All right, now it's time to get some coal in this bad boy. That's about right. And this was almost empty, so we do need to fill this up a bit. First stop is right here. We have a load that's going to the Whittier sawmill. That's these first couple cars. So we'll deliver those first. And then we'll pull the rest of the train out. Put that up. Oh, crunch. Ka-chunk. All right, so take a look at the color coding. Really, we just got this one car going to the sawmill, which sucks because we have to run around it. It's got to be pushed in. That gets backed in, that gets pushed in. And then all the rest of these are going to the Ella Bridge. There is no rush on any of the Ella Bridge ones. They don't have... I mean, they need to get there today, but we get time bonuses on these early cars. So, but there is no time bonus on the Ella Bridge cars. So, bonuses happen in the morning when you're delivering, but they do not happen when you're taking back. So there we go. Everything is all aboard, and we are now going to just go a short distance up to get that sawmill car in its siding, and then we'll continue on. And already, this isn't that big of a train, and already you can see this guy's working full effort here to get this thing moving. There's trains that are going to be twice as long as this, easily. I'm looking at maybe a mid-century consolidated for our next engine. No, that would be the C25. The Pacific is another great option. My only problem with the Pacific is that it's a very large locomotive and really meant for... I mean, to me, that's more of an endgame locomotive, but we'll see. A Mikado might be a good idea. Though, unfortunately, they only give us logging variations on this track. It's about as fast as we want to go. And what we're going to do is we're going to put the parking brake on this car. And I'm going to break the connection here. And we're going to go ahead and forward this into our little turnaround here. And this is an easy one because we're just basically spotting that car into the siding. These sidings can hold, I think, like 6 cars each, the 2 sidings. So eventually you will get to the point where you're filling up these whole sidings with these cars. And you'll see it turn gray here in a second there. It's spotted. And so that's the last of the cars here. Let's get out of here. So slow. All right. Hooked up and ready to go. No, we're not. We need to hook this up. And we need to hook that up. And now we are ready for this freight to leave the station. Wow, this is a heavy train. We're doing it, but just more difficult than I expected the train to have. I didn't realize it would have this much trouble pulling this, but there you have it. And since we have no passenger service as of yet, this train can take up, as we switch out our cars here, this train can take up part of the line. So we're going to stop it here on the main. And we're going to break those 2 cars off and switch them out. Perfect. And we're going to stop right here. Actually, should have stopped a little earlier, but there you have it. And I'm going to apply the handbrake, and we're going to put these glad hands apart. And this is going to continue on forward. Bring it on back. So today's switching is pretty easy. As we get into this, it gets more and more complex because you start having multiple cars, and you'll have cars that are done that need to get pulled out. So you have to bring the new cars in and take the old cars out, and it becomes quite a process. This should stop by itself. I mean, you have to use the brakes at the top, but it's going to slow way down. I'm trying to keep it rolling. It'll probably stop, actually. I need to push it on up. Got a nice grade going on here, too. And I'm going to put the... There we go. I guess day 1 cars don't have bonuses. It seems like we don't get that till later. So, because that... We definitely are in the bonus time for that. So... And let's go ahead and grab our tanker. Oops, I forgot to close our angle bracket. So the brakes are leaking. There we go. Down the road. That was a little rough. Let's see. We do okay? Yeah, all right. Don't want to damage the customer's equipment. 2 to 3 miles an hour is not the top end of crashing. It'll go from yellow to gray once it's spotted. Wow, it really needs to go far back. I didn't realize it was going to go that far. Jeez, oh Pete. Oh, finally. And take the engine back. And so we are all done at Whittier. It's time to move on to Ella, the big exchange. And so it was that the Rocky River Railroad number 10 arrived at Ella Station. And this is where we will be stopping. Once I get the whole train into the siding, we need to get past the pretty darn near the end here. But not that far. Okay, we need to start stopping. Once again, though, with all, the train brakes work pretty well. We might overshoot. Put them on harder. Oh, don't put them in emergency. That's good right there. Yeah, that should be good. We'll be fine. It was a bit of a fast stop. Planning ahead would probably help a little bit. All right, so we need to run around the train and pull off the cars. There's 2 farm cars that are staying here, and then the rest of these need to be pushed up to the bridge. So let's get those taken care of. And honestly, we're almost done with our chores for the day. They use these really slowly. These farming cars, they keep them for like a month. I've gotten pretty far into the game, and I still haven't switched them out yet. They keep them for quite some time. I'm not sure exactly. They must not need farming equipment very quickly, but... All right, so we're back on the main line with no headlight. Got our cars put into the Ella siding, as they should be. And we are ready to finish up here by pushing the rest of these cars to the Ella Bridge location, which is just a quarter mile or less down the track. Maybe half mile, but it's pretty dang close. And so the first of 3 trains has been delivered to the Ella Bridge. Not 100% yet. I don't want to stop too much because it's a pretty uphill grade, but I also don't want to, run us off the track. And so we need to double check here real quick and make sure that all of our tags are clear. Yes, they are. That means we've gotten all the cars into the position where they belong. So we are now done with our switching duties for the day, which means that this little man can head back to our main station. And we're going to take a look and see if we can't get that passenger engine running. So I will be back in just a short moment. Okay, so we have returned back to base. It's not really base. To the main to Shining Time Station. We're going to see where this guy's at. It's only been about an hour, and he's still looking pretty rough. 80% repaired. 86% repaired. I could hire another worker and make it go faster, but I don't want to. As long as we run train today. Let's take a look at our finances real quick. 110%. Locations are all served. We may have some new stuff come up, though. So let's see. Interchange. Nothing. No milestones yet. And we're at phase 1. We can't really do anything until this evening. Let's see. Current loan is $6,000. We're going to pay back 1, 2. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. Leave ourselves with $1,500, as I think that's the next stage. So now we just own $2,000. Like I said, eventually I probably will take out $10,000 to expand to the south. I think it's south. On the map, it looks south, maybe. I guess it's more east to the interchange. Right now. It's not that far, honestly. But it's about the same distance to Alarka as it is. It's a pretty good distance. But small when you compare the overall map. Still, it could bring in a lot of money. So I'd like to take a look and see what's down there. All right, so we're going to wait a little bit. Let's go ahead and jump up and see how our mogul is doing with the wood train up in Connolly here. We're still loading, so we need to wait a little time now. So I'm going to go ahead and pass some time. We're going to go here and go to settings, and we're going to wait 1 hour. And one more, and we are full. It's 9:30 in the morning, and we're going to bring this train back down the mountain. Orders are going to be to reverse. 25 miles an hour is the max speed that we want. You should just beep in a minute here. There he goes. All right, so we'll bring this mogul back down and load him into the sawmill to give it more wood. And since it's taking so long for that other train to get fixed, it probably won't be ready till tomorrow. Let's just go ahead and run a passenger service using our good old 060 switcher. And let's rock on through here before that lumber train gets down. All right. Thing stops on a dime, man. It's like most uncomfortable ride for the passengers ever. All right, so let's go ahead and pick the train car, passengers, Whittier, and Ella. Actually, just Ella, because we're already at Whittier. And let's see how many passengers we load up. How many are left? 50. Oh, we're gonna get a pretty full ride. And there goes the lumber train in the backyard as we're loading up. I think we got a full load here, so I'm going to go ahead and send it. Orders, road, forward 25 miles an hour. Actually, you can go 30. And she's off to Ella. In the meantime, the mogul's done an excellent job bringing these cars down from the mountain. And we are going to flip the switch once the train passes the sawmill siding. And he's slowing down. Perfect. Perfecto. And we're going to switch this to forward operation, 15 miles an hour. And there we go. Honestly, this engine could probably stay here forever. I don't know that we'll ever have to sell this one because we're really mostly only going to be, the 8-car train is the longest one you can fit up there. So it's not like we need more power to get. And the logs come down the hill. They don't go up the hill. So even if we have more cars on other sidings, you're coming downhill with them. So this engine should have plenty of oomph to do it. The only engine of real concern is the one that we're repairing. I'm thinking maybe after we repair it, we just sell it. And the reason why the 10-wheeler is problematic because it only carries 2 tons of coal. So once you start opening up the map, it very quickly becomes an issue of it constantly being out of coal. So that's something that we got to really look into. Once again, I'm thinking maybe an Atlantic to replace this pretty quickly. We'll see how it does. But once again, I think it only carries like 2 tons. And so it runs out of coal like every third run or whatever, you're out of coal. It's not a great situation. Our short passenger express is blasting its way to Ella, whatever it is. I think it's Ela. Ella would be 2 L's, like Bella. So Ela, possibly. And they are sliding into Shining Time Station. Reach for the sun. Reach for the whistle. Sorry. Yes, I used to watch Shining Time Station when I got home from school, and admittedly, I was even a teenager. But I'd have a bowl of cereal when I got home from school and watch Shining Time Station because I love Thomas. I mean, how can you not? All right, so we've gotten our $57 worth of passengers delivered, and now we're loading passengers back up for Whittier. And then we'll roll this train back to the depot. Once again, you only need to keep your reputation up. You only need to run this once a day. Now, once we unlock Bryson, we start making $200 or $300 a run. That's when this becomes more valuable. So once we have a longer track to deal with, we're going to be getting more passengers, making more money. So we do want to continue to run passenger service, and we're going to expand it and get a longer passenger train. But for now, we need to basically just run this one car. I think we're full. All right, so we're ready to go. 48 people on board. We've made a miserable $100 with passenger service today, but like I said, that will go up to $500, $600, $700,000, $2,000 a day. You'll start making some money with it. It's not nearly as good as some of the other stuff that you do, but it's money. But right now, on the first couple days, worthless. And so off we go. All right, I've been a naughty boy. I am not a good railroad mogul, and I've done some things that I maybe was not the wisest thing to do. We've got a loan for $24,000 out. In 3 days, I'm going to owe $2,000 of interest, 10% interest. But we'll be trying to pay that down. The first thing I decided is that I am going to sell the 10-wheeler. We're not even going to bother servicing it. We're just going to get it fixed. It should be fixed by tomorrow morning. We'll set it out on the track, and so in 2 days' time, we'll have 5,000 of that dollars back. But in the meantime, I've decided that it's going to be a wise idea to buy another engine. We're going to open up the track to Silva and maybe even run a passenger train today before the day's over with our new engine. And what I decided to buy is we're going to do it right now, so you'll get to be part of this. I think a good passenger engine. Let's do our things first. We're going to go to the milestones. The most important thing is to unlock it. All right. So we're going to go to purchase track to Silva, $7,500. So we now own all of these different junctions. And if we look at our finance, our locations, we have Silva, tier 3 contract. We're going to take these. So we're going to have a bunch of stuff that's going to go to Silva tomorrow. We are going to be busy. Interchange agreement enable. We're not doing anything there yet, but tier 3 for them. Blue Ridge Locust Pinco, tier 3. Cowie Bridge site, nothing. Dillsboro Depot, nothing. Engine service, repair track. House, nothing. We're going to have a tier 3 fuel there. Big. So you can see all these new jobs that we're picking up. We're going to get a ton of money. Wilmot has mica and schist. So we have a station at Wilmot. Connolly Creek. That's up here at the mill. And then Whittier. All of these, I think we're going to have, some of these are going to have bigger tiers coming in, but nothing yet here. So they haven't, they've changed the interface a little bit, which I like. And so we're good there. So on that end, we're going up to Ela. Now, we may not have enough money to buy the next phase for Ela, but that's okay. We'll get there. It's going to all work out. But in the meantime, we have a lot of servicing to do. So the next engine that we're going to buy, we're going to go to our engine information. And I want to get, let me think about this real quick here. We have, these are going to be close, but this holds more. The big mogul is really close, and the Mikado is close, but it costs too much. So this is what we're doing. We are going to purchase an Atlantic. There we go. We got $5,000 left. Where is my Atlantic? Where did it go? Oh, no, it's going to be in Silva. Dang it. Okay. All right. So then the other thing that we're going to do is we are going to purchase another Pullman coach. And we're going to go for the same type that we have, 1900 open regular purchase, $4,000. There we go. So now we have very little money, and that's that. And so we've returned to Whittier. Trying to think of the best way to do this. I think I'm just going to return this train to our depot. Not the depot, but to our yard. And I'm going to set the passenger car out, and we're going to grab it with the Atlantic once we come through. And ironically, we have enough money to finish up our Ella Bridge work for tomorrow, so we're good. We're actually good all the way around. So I'm just going to bring this back to the station house here, or to the rail house. And then we're going to grab the Atlantic and bring that up, do some passenger service on that end of the track, so we have that done. And we're going to have a real busy day on day 3. So now the interesting thing is, here's our gorgeous Atlantic. And for those of you that haven't seen the Atlantic yet, yeah, I need to change the whistle. But this is a beautiful passenger engine. I mean, obviously they used it for freight too, but it really was designed for good passenger service. And 1880s, I think, these were made. So the downside is they've put us down here at this end of the route, and we're backwards. So let's see. This is going to use, I forget what the whistle is. I used to have some of these memorized. It's a 3 chime. Let's see where. Nah, it's too harsh. I want it softer. I know they said a long bell chime on these, so there you go. I gotta double check that. If it's wrong, I'll fix it tomorrow. But let's go ahead and enjoy the route here, because I haven't seen this part of the route yet. So we're gonna stop at all the stations, pick up passengers, and deliver them back to, well, all the way to Ella. So this is the Silva. I've been calling it Silva, which is correct. Interchange yard. We're leaving that now. And now she's on the right track. So, there we go. Cruising around. And we're going to start slowing down. There's already 50 passengers waiting. That's good news. Where they're heading, I don't know. But we're going to have a bunch of stops, so probably most of them are going to the major stations, so that's usually how it happens. But now we should see a whole list. Silva, Dillsboro, Wilmot, and let's see how they fall in. A lot of people going to Ella. Some people going to Wilmot. Nobody to Whittier, nobody to Dillsboro. Or should I say Dillsboro? And as we're here, demand's gone up. We have 60 passengers. 24 of them are going to Dillsboro now. So forgive me, for I was wrong. All right, there she goes. And we're going to follow her for the rest of the trip. Just looking at the track here to see what kind of restrictions. There's a 25 restriction up by Whittier, so we're pretty clear sailing. I don't see any speed restrictions, so we'll keep it around 30. And we're flying down the line, 33 miles an hour. And we are almost to Dillsboro. Or Dillsboro. I have a nasty habit of calling it bruh, because my wife's from Middlesbrough, which is Middlesboro, but they call it Middlesbrough. Bruh. We're gonna put for future. Well, let's see. I gotta decide if I want the trains to stop on. I think I want them to stop on the other side. The good news is there's water here if we ever feel like we're getting low. I think we have plenty right now. We have 3,000 gallons. We're fine. But I'm trying to think if where I want the fusies, if I want them on, or should I say they're not fusies. What do you call them? Flares. All aboard. So we're going to lose some passengers here, but we'll also pick up a couple. So we made $24 at the last stop. We're departing Dillsboro, heading for Wilmot next. So we're going to continue on up the line towards our destination. I really wish we could turn the engine around. That's annoying. We need a turntable. I wish you could put them in. So this section here is called Cowie. It's just north of whatever that, Dillsboro. And it's basically a siding, it looks like, so you can pass. Now that's a nice trestle right there. That's pretty cool. Going into the tunnel. Woo. There she goes. And coming out the other end. That's neat. There's the old Model A truck. Here we have the team track at Barker's Creek. Another nice long passing track. And here we are at Wilmot, and I'm just realizing I'm about to blow right through the station. Stop! It's on manual. Crap. Stop! I was driving it by hand before, and then I let the manual driver take over, and that's why we just totally flew. That's good. This is going to be a speed rail. Control F. Yeah, I think the fuser. Actually, we can put it right there. There we go. Let's see where that goes. We're going to do road orders, forward 5. Fusee and the gauge. Okay, so we need to take this. I need that engine to cross far enough that the car is in front of the station. That's as far forward as I can place it. And now they're loading passengers, so I think he's got everybody. So the next stop is Whittier Depot and Ella. I don't know if I'm going to... We probably should go to Ella. All right, so we're going to go reverse. 30, and I'm going to join this train up. It's about 3 miles up to Whittier, so we'll see you up there. And then I think... I probably need to run it back down. Well, I see a little flaw in my plan. I assume the engine would be coming the other way. Duh. So I need to grab this guy and select him and run him back. I wanted to get... Let's see, is this ready to go? No, it's spotted still. I'm interested to see when these cars are done this afternoon if they're going to have to go all the way down to the new yard, which they probably are. That's the one downside about opening up that track, is that I don't think our interchange is the main interchange anymore. So I think the cars get delivered to that far away interchange. We'll check our coal hopper real quick here once we're done doing this maneuver. Whoops, slow down. Yeah, it changed to the Silva interchange. Well, shiz. And kerplonk. We got cars running forwards and cars running backwards, and all the passengers are going to be sick, but it's okay. We're going to decouple that. I'm going to handshake these. And this fella, well, we're going to move him up the track a little bit. I'm actually going to put him into the siding there. And the reason for that is because I want this other train, once we're done, to be able to leave. And then we can fill that one up. So he's going to stop there. This guy, excuse me, he's going to come back a little bit. go. We'll fill that up. While we're doing that, we're going to take our color scheme for the passenger car, and we are going to customize color, copy to coupled. There we go. Ta-da! So now we have matching coaches. That looks nice. And back to the engine for control. Yeah, it's going to take a lot. And now it's time for Wassa. Ah, crapsicles. A little further back. Good enough. All right, let's let this fill up, and then we'll be back. All right, then, mates. We're ready for the Rocky River Express to head on. All right, so the next two steps you've already seen. We're going to go to Whittier and to Ela. I'll catch you guys at Ela when we're done, because that's where the final payment will come in, and we'll see. We're not going to make a ton of money, but we'll make some money. But I've got the flares all set now for our southern trip, so we should be able to fairly automatically go from Ela to Silva without too many stops. And I'm going to continue running the express for a couple hours. And then I'll come back in and we will get caught up. All right, the day has passed. Day 2 is almost over. However, we still have some work to do. Now, the cars from Ela, the bridge, need to come back. They can wait till tomorrow, though. What I'm doing is I'm looking to see if these need to come back. Nope. We have an almost full passenger train. We had to wait pretty much the whole afternoon to fill it up. So it's full. And we are going to go ahead and send this guy on to Whittier. And there he goes. There he goes. Sorry. There he goes again. So the evening express has left. We do have a little bit of work. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, while he's heading to Whittier, we're going to jump back to the yard. And our log train is almost done doing its duty. But what we're going to do is we're going to sell the 10-wheeler, as we talked about before. Ah, crap, I forgot to. There we go. And we'll put the brake on there. And this guy is going to go back. Let's see, orders, put him on manual. This engine probably needs servicing too, so we'll service it real quick. But we're going to take the 10-wheeler and put it on the interchange for sale. And the passenger train is probably going to take that with it. So you'll see what we do here. It's basically going to tow a couple engines. And the reason being is because in the morning, we're going to need our switcher engine down at that yard. So we've got a sawmill car here that needs to go back too. So I'm thinking I'll probably pull that out tonight also. So we're going to spot all these things. And here we go. We're going to pop the water tank on this. Can't get them. There we go. I went a little too far. There we go. That should do it. And we're going to fill up with coal. And then, like I said, I'm going to pull this out of the siding. And man, we got a lot to do. And then I'm going to pull the engine out, and we're going to put all of them way down at the end of the track. Oh, wow, that was full. I guess I filled this up recently. I didn't realize I had already serviced this, but when you got 4 engines and 1 person and a 2-day period, or 2 actual day period, the 1 game day period, yeah, it's just going to take a little bit, I bet. I think it holds 6 tons, so. No. Yeah, 6. Yep. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to pull forward to here. And we're going to get that sawmill car. as we get this train ready to, this train of engines ready to roll. I actually might just leave the switcher here since this engine's already being used and we're not going to get to the logs till tomorrow. It's a bad idea. I don't know. I fast forwarded a couple hours and they didn't take any more logs, so I think they're not doing any more logs today. So, like, I think the contract was fulfilled. We'll see, but anyway, this engine will come back in the morning and then take the train up, but we may use it. Actually, I don't think this has enough power, though, so it's going to have to be the other one. Shoes and socks. All right, well, so let me think about how we're going to do this. My brain is... Buzz. This one is going to get set. Let's see that. Oh, yeah, we could set this car out. Okay. I know how I'm going to do it. This is where multiplayer is going to come in eventually. Actually, pretty soon I'm going to have Javius and Micah join me. Okay, so we are stopped here, and I'm going to go ahead and unhook this. And we're just going to back this guy back down into the siding here. Nice and easy. This engine was asleep. I've never seen that before. It had like nothing happening. Now that I've started it up, it's starting. But that was kind of cool. All right. So here we go. So we leave our interchange for, I don't know for the last time, but we'll use this as an area to bring trains down, but it's no longer our main interchange. It's kind of a weird thing. I think really the main interchange is going to be where the cars come in. So Silva is going to be where we store these engines. Unfortunately, once again, there's no turnaround down there and there's no engine facility down there. So it's kind of weird. I hope at some point they allow us to put stuff like that in, because it would be nice to have a facility where we're actually working on the locos. So that's a little bizarre that we don't have that, but there you have it. She'll be coming around the roundhouse when she comes. All right. And let's pick up our other engine. Bye-bye, 10-wheeler. The 10-wheeler really is from a bygone era. I mean, the Mogul is too. Both the 10-wheeler and the Mogul started their lives in the 1860s. The engines that we have in this game, well, the two that were these two engines, the Mogul, this Mogul particularly, and this 10-wheeler, are probably 1880s. I'm guessing at that, but I'm going to say 1880s, 1890s, somewhere around there. They're not burning wood, they're burning coal, so they're a little bit more modern, but they're still, like, the capacity is pretty vintage. 2 tons of coal versus, like, even our switcher has 3. And that's going to be used, primarily in a yard situation in real life, though in our train it's going to be used more. For now, I am looking at maybe upgrading to replace the 10-wheeler, maybe a more modern Mogul, or more probable would be like the mid-size consolidated. A Decapod would work for a mainline engine. Pacific would work. Those are all decent engines. The Pacific's a great engine. A little pricey, though. But actually, the Pacific's cheaper than the consolidated midsize by a couple $1,000s. So we'll see. This switcher engine's not going to last forever as a prime mover, so because it really isn't designed for that. And once again, with 3 tons of coal, we're probably going to be filling it every time we come up and down the line. So it's going to be about capacity. We'll keep it to switch, different areas. Like this one might sit up at Whittier, and or possibly at the other end of the line. But we probably have 3 switchers: one at Whittier, one at Bryson, and then one down in Silva. And then as we expand the line, there'll be more. All right, a little bit more power there to get it hooked up. And the headlight can go off. All right, and hook this up. So this whole train is going to go down to the interchange. We're going to set this. Cell destination is the Silva interchange. We're going to set this. I think that goes along with it. Yeah, it does. Okay. And that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the freight or the passenger, and I'll be right back. And here we are. All right, and so we're leaving the station. We got a bit of a ways to go, but we are going to have to stop partway down and grab those cars at the interchange and the 2 engines. One for sale, one for work tomorrow. And you'll see how we're going to do this. So I'm going to leave this engine. This engine's going to stay at Silva at the station. And then I'm going to use the switcher to pull everything else down to the interchange. And we'll park everything on the interchange there. And so then we'll be done with the day. And we came out with the day. I have paid off $1,000 of our $25,000 loan. We've got $200. But we also have the next milestone set for the Ella Bridge. I did that off camera. And let's just go through here for our locations and just make sure we've got everything set. Sylvia Depot. Paperboard. They're letting us do tier 3, which is pretty cool. So Blue Ridge. So we're gonna have a decent amount of freight going out tomorrow. Baker's Creek. Slay and Schist. Yep, and then Connolly Creek. We don't have anything going on there, but that's where no change. Stenzel, no change. And Whittier. All right, so let's stop. So we're here in the yard. Coming up on the interchange here. Look at all those lovely engines. We have more engines than we have cars right now on the railroad. That's all going to change tomorrow. That is going to really, I'm telling you, it's going to be... Oh, I forgot to turn the cylinder cocks off. Whoops. All right. Nope, I didn't. I stopped too short. Always. My problem in train games is usually the opposite. Usually I don't stop in time. So at least in this game I'm stopping. The brakes work really well. Maybe too well, but I feel like I'm happy with the way that they work. I'm not crashing or killing anybody. Alrighty. Bring it on down. It's about good right there. All right. And let's go ahead and hook the hoses up. Ta-da! Okay, glad hands connected. All right, and she is ready to roll. Orders, road, forward, 30 miles an hour. And she's off. Our beautiful express engine. I love the Atlantic. It's a good-looking engine. It might be one of my favorite starter engines. I do like the Switcher too, but it just has It's got that the boiler's larger towards the center of the engine than it is at the front, so it just looks beefy, like it's almost like flexing a little bit. It's a good looking engine. Bye everybody. See you tomorrow. All right, so heading down the line, and at the other end we will debark the passengers, split up our train that's going on the interchange, and then park the switcher. There they go. I'll probably run around the passenger engine and put it on the back of the train because it's going to be pulling the cars backwards. Such a weird setup, but that's how they have it done. That's how we're going to do it. And finally, we're here at Silva. And dropping the last passengers off. Train's going to wait here for the night. Go ahead and shut that light off. And get paid for the rest of the passengers, which should be nice. About 60 passengers. So we had a pretty full day today of passies. I screwed that up. Dang it, I forgot to close this. Actually, we can let's just redo it because I didn't decouple. So, did I? I did. Crap. Okay, well, the glad hands are really hard to get. There we go. I got it on the cars. Taking it over this engine, and we're gonna go ahead and why is it at 0? I closed this, didn't I? No, not all the way. Okay. Let that build back up. I get some weird pressure things going on here. Somebody's got their brakes on. Is it this car? Yeah, it is. There we go. It just needed to be bled. Okay, so moving forward. And so let's go ahead and take this down to the interchange, which is just down the tracks a little, just a piece down the tracks, as you've already seen. And we're going to drop off our engine for sale and also our box car for return. tomorrow we'll have probably a much larger train coming down with parts. Or should I say empties, mostly. I hope I'm on the right track. I'm not sure. And we have really run this day right to the nub. Yeah, so it's sunset, and we are pretty much through with our duties for the day. I'm basically going to do a flying disconnect. See if we can handle this. Got it. And we're going to start... Definitely going to start... Oh, wait, orders are on, so I need to... Brakes. Yeah. And we need to decouple this. Yep, and so I need to take that off. That should be decoupled, and I'm going to back up a little bit. Leaving that car free. Unfortunately, we are in the middle of a train love sandwich, and so I'm just going to disconnect from that. That's getting sold. I don't know. I think all these tracks are live interchange tracks. Now, this engine's not set to sell, so we stop. God, oh, I pushed the throttle the wrong way. It's stuck. Did not mean to do that. I was trying to grab this, and for whatever reason, it didn't. That must have still been clicking. Anyway, there we go. So now we have separated the engines out. I think we're good until morning, so we should be all set here. And that's it. So we had a nice rundown tonight. Made $200 some. Our finances should be right around the $500 mark. $648. Next payment's not due for a couple days. We should make $4,000 or $5,000 tomorrow. Plus, you know, this engine's going to be $5,000 right there, and then we'll make another $4,000 or $5,000 probably. So we'll have about $10,000 to make a payment for. After that, we'll be doing about $3,000 or $4,000 a day, I think. So we should be okay, and maybe not even have to pay any interest. We'll have to see. After that, though, we do need to look at getting a bigger engine, obviously, to carry these long distances. We need something with a larger tender. Once again, the consolidation is probably going to be where we're going to look. The mid-size consolidation. Or a Pacific. The Pacific is so big, though. I don't know. The mid-size consolidation seems like a better step up, but it's more expensive. So we'll see. Looking, what I'm talking about is here. We got a K43 Pacific, which is just or P43, which is just absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful engine, but it is big. It's a big passenger engine. And then we have the consolidation, which has more tractive effort, less adhesion, but smaller wheels. You can see this is for small Caridius. Medium, I don't know. Maybe the Decapod is horrible, but it's cool because now the Decapod will probably be in the era that we're working in. But this one, this is a good. Even this, the big consolidation is cool. But this consolidation is a very nice engine. But it's also $2,000 more. I don't know. We'll see. We're going to end up with both eventually. But I think from a freight standpoint, the consolidation is more of a freight type engine, and the Pacific's more of a lighter weight / speed engine. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you enjoyed this really long episode. Have a great night. Be sure to subscribe. Thumbs up, boys, help. And I will see you next time on Railroader. Great game so far. Just loving it.